Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.
We're here in Forest Chase, where the City of Perth has put on a free Olympian show for the kids on their school holidays.
This is a circus show which is framed as an Olympics television show, and so we've got some great circus acts and jokes and things like that.
How did you guys find out about this event?
Actually on the net. Yeah, I was going on to this See Perth Now or something like that, and saw it come up and thought it'd be great for the kids to have a look, especially because it's free.
So what are you expecting from the show today?
Lots of fun and active stuff.
Is it fun coming and doing this kind of stuff on the school holidays?
Yes, lots of fun.
My name's Ted, I'm the co-host and I play the drums and some sounds for the circus. So it's been a real treat being here 3 times a day in Perth.
Do you like doing stuff like this on the school holidays?
Yeah.
Do you come to the city much for stuff like this?
Not really, but we like it when we do.
What are you expecting from the show today?
I like the circus because they do tricks.
What kind of tricks do you like to see?
Juggling, circling, and having fun.
Do you think you'll see all that today?
I'm an Olympic gymnast performing the rings today, which I've been training for quite a while now. I've been training most of my life. I bought my outfit here when I was 10, and it's been about 20 years coming now, and I think I'm finally there.
So what kind of tricks do you do?
Not many, but the ones I do are quite good actually.
I'm Buck Boris, and I'm going to be in the rhythmic gymnastics competition. It's a new event, but it's for men's. It's the men's rhythmic gymnastics.
What can people expect from the show today?
Some rhythmic gymnastics.
Fart jokes and slide whistle jokes, they're really good. I got a... That's a good joke, and this sounds like a storm. So little sound effects to accompany the performers.
Can you give us a bit of a background on the show?
Good question. The show started in Greece and then made its way around the world, and here it is today in Perth. And
Audience reaction been like?
They absolutely love it, actually. They're often a little bit surprised because although it's a family show, we do put in a lot of humour for the adults as well, so often the adults are pleasantly surprised that they've enjoyed the show as much as the children.
As part of Show Me Perth, there'll be plenty of similar activities run throughout the school holidays. I'm Janae Tomlinson, reporting for Undercurrent.
Well, for some of us, our uni years are far behind us, and for others, well, the time is now. So let's take a closer look at those guild fees. Lauren Bellini has more.
Under the legislation, universities are allowed to charge students a compulsory annual fee of up to $263, which can be deferred through HECS. However, according to UWA Guild President Matthew McKenzie, the question on most students' minds is why they have to pay a fee towards services they may not use.
I think the SSAF legislation is a really bad piece of legislation, particularly compared to the previous scenario where we had voluntary student unionism. There are a number of reasons for that. In today's age, there are a lot of students that work full-time or they work part-time, and they don't spend a lot of time on campus. When those students are being forced to pay the fee and they don't get the same benefits that other students who might be more wealthy, who are on campus every day, they get the benefits of the fee that others are paying. I think that's inequitable.
Brought in by the Labor government in October 2011, the fee replaces the voluntary amenities and services fee that in previous years has given students an option to make a payment. It is claimed that the SAF compulsory fee will restore funding to many non-academic areas of universities, such as recreational and sporting facilities, that had previously suffered under the voluntary scheme.
UWA traditionally did quite well under VSU. We are quite a stable guild. We're one of the most stable guilds in Australia, actually. But during the VSU, we definitely still did suffer, especially, the economic downturn came around at the same kind of time, and it was very difficult. A lot of those problems, I can say, will be fixed under this new legislation. The The Guild and the Sports Association has a lot more facilities, they have a lot more money to put into these different resources. And UWA provides a lot of different resources for its students. So I think it's been a really good opportunity to kind of grow the Guild and grow those resources to a point where students can actually use them effectively and to the best for their degrees.
I wouldn't say that voluntary student unionism is bad for the Guild. I think that voluntary student unionism is better for the Guild, and there's a very good reason for that. When you have a lot of money coming in, as I say, I endeavour to try and spend it the right way, but eventually you're going to reach a point of complacency where you spend money on things that most students aren't necessarily interested in, and I think that's wrong. The Guild there should be as many mechanisms as possible in place to ensure that the Guild spends its resources and spends its revenue in ways that benefit students. And I think the way to ensure that is that students have the ability to choose whether or not they want to be members. And so I would disagree with the statement that VSU is bad for the Guild.
I think the fee's a great thing. As someone who uses the resources myself, I think they're incredibly important for students.
We get 70%, or so roughly 2/3 of the revenue raised through the SSAF fee goes to the Guild. Some of it goes to the sport department. And although I personally and this year's council, or the majority of this year's councillors are opposed to the SSAF fee, in the event where we have this fee, we're working to spend it on a lot of important things, important changes on campus.
There are issues. I think some students shouldn't be paying the fees they're paying, and that's something that definitely needs to be looked into. But like I said, as a whole, I think it's such a positive thing for students on this campus, and I think if everyone was really educated about it, people would really realise that.
Control of the compulsory funds is by the university and not within student organisations such as the Guild, which Mr Mackenzie sees as a disadvantage of the system. In contrary, Arts Union President and third-year student Priya Brown says many students are uninformed as to where their money is going. I'm Lauren Bellini, reporting for Undercurrent.
Well, next up, we're very happy to invite Mr Nick Hayes back onto our screens, and tonight he's getting the lowdown from James England.
James, welcome back to Undercurrent. It's been a little while since you've been on, and the steel industry is still hurting. How are things going?
Thanks, Nick. It's interesting times as ever in the steel industry. Now we've got a lot of work in some sectors and still no work in other sectors, so we're very patchy at the moment.
It was only back, or just over 12 months ago, that you marched on Parliament House and let the government know that things aren't going well. Has anything changed since then?
We're still struggling with infrastructure, we're struggling with the planning process and the approvals process behind the projects. We're struggling with the measurement of the industry. We need to know more data about what is actually going on with these projects so we can make proper informed decisions.
The state election's coming up very, very quickly, and this is pitched to be one of the top 4 issues that this government is going to have to try and fight. Is this something that you're aware of, and is it something that you're planning on boosting up your efforts to try and raise this as something big in the media?
I guess the political side of things, we're going to judge it on its merits. We'll take each party's attitude towards steel and the steel industry in general and take a close look at them. Obviously, we've had a lot of activity. We've had some very bold moves from Labor. They're obviously very interested in the issue as part of their core issues. The Liberal side of politics has taken an interest. They've tried some things, but we need them to do a lot more to ensure that the process works as effectively as it should.
Taking a focus now on Kwinana, is there a future there for some of our workers?
It's a very tough issue. Unfortunately, youth unemployment is very hard to deal with. The best thing to do is to make sure that we've got enough work so that we can offer apprenticeships and offer all those opportunities that go with a vibrant industry. Let's take a look at the AMC, the Henderson area. That probably needs expanding more than anything else, and very quickly. We need swift government action on that region. There's a 300 hectare parcel of land just to the south of the current Henderson industrial area. That needs to be opened up for immediate development so that we can get industries to build there and give these young people an opportunity in that area.
Have you got any thoughts on the workforce that are coming in and being suggested coming in overseas? I mean, it's a little different, obviously, work being taken away from the local manufacturers in the steel industry, but as the industry, as the ASI, does it have a point of view on workers coming from overseas?
I guess the important part for us is the quality of the work that's done. So if the workers coming in for overseas are at a high standard, the education has been good, they've got good trade skills, and they're not going to require any extra training before they can work, then so be it. That's fine. We don't have a problem with that at all. We want to make sure that the people that enter this industry are ones that we can keep. We don't want people to just come and go. We would like to keep them and have them settle down and be a vibrant part of the industry for the long term.
You've been working with the unions on a campaign to really bring attention to what's going on with local content. Is that a relationship the ASI is still continuing?
Sure, we try to work as closely as we can with the unions. At some point, our goals aren't quite aligned, but we try to work around that and be as open and honest with them as they can be with us, and try to get the best out of the common goals.
What's the ASI got planned to raise the bar and put it in front of the people?
We're looking to sell the value of the steel industry in this state. We obviously have a lot to offer, and we need to make sure that message gets out loud and clear to the people who need our skills and our expertise. So we'll be pushing that as hard as we can.
James, thanks for joining Undercurrent.
Thanks, Nick.
Well, that's all we have time for. I'm Christy Mullica, and hopefully I'll catch you next week for more of Western Australia's very own Undercurrent.
Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.